Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. I am going to be doing something different that I haven't seen anyone else do before, which is review all of the auction models for this year's Breyerfest. I will be giving an estimate of how much I think the model will go for, what my overall opinion is on the model, whether or not I would bid on it, and what I love or hate about the model. So this is just my opinion. They haven't had the auction yet. I have no idea how much these will actually go for, and I will do a part 2 where I go over how much each of them sold for. But these are all of them right here, and I will start going over the models. So first off, we have this guy right here. I do not have any of them on this mold. I don't love it and I don't hate it. I think the graying and the dapples are stunning. I love the ombre of the tail. The horseshoes are a nice touch. I do think it's a bit strange how his face looks, but overall it is a really nice model. I personally would not bid on this one. That is something else I should have said, is I will say whether or not I would bid on the model. This one personally I wouldn't. It's just not what I am interested in with my collections. But I think he'll go for about 5,000, maybe 7,000 is my guess. Next up, we have this beautiful Mare foal set. I love this one. I love the color, the dapples. The shading is so soft and nice. It's so beautiful. I would definitely bid on this one. I don't have any sets in this Mare foal set in my collection, but if I could bid on any of these, this would be one of them. I want to say that because it's a Mare foal set, that it might go for around 10,000, just because you're getting 2 models and not 1. But I could be wrong, but that's around my guess for this one, is around 10,000. Next, we have a vintage Arabian palomino. I don't like this one. I love palominos, but this just doesn't look that realistic to me. I think the coloring is a little wrong. I wish they had better dapples on this one, and I just don't like the model itself. I think this one would go for around 5,000. Next, we have the new Morgan mold. I don't remember how old this one is, but up until they showed photos of this one, I have not liked this model. But with this type of shading and the color and the dapples and the fact that it's glossy and has nice hooves, for once I actually really like this model. I do think, I'm not sure about the popularity of any of these models, so I can't really say based off popularity how much I think it'll go for. But this one is absolutely stunning, and I actually would bid on this one, even though I don't have any models of this sculpt yet. This one really makes me like the model. The color just looks fabulous on it. I'm going to guess this one will go for about 10 to 15,000. Next, we have another vintage model. I don't like this one either. I think it's just, I'm not a fan of any of the vintage models, to be honest. I feel like Breyer's done this kind of pattern before. And I do know for a fact one of the auction models they have done the pattern on a stablemate, and you'll see which one I'm talking about when I get to it. I think this one probably will go for around 5,000, maybe 6. I don't think it's that popular of a model, so that's part of why I'm lowering the sales price of this one. Next, we have this little Welsh pony, I think is what it is. I don't remember. This one's really nice. It's definitely one of the nicer strawberry roans, red roans. I don't have any on this mold. There hasn't really been any out yet that I like, and I do like this one. It is one that I would bid on. Everything about it is so cute. The little spots on it, the shading, the colors, the mapping. It's so cute. I think this one will go for around 10 to 15,000 also. It's really nice. This one. This is the one that they have done this pattern on before. And if I can find a picture of the stable makes I used to have it, I will throw it on the screen. So I do want to point out for everybody who's going to watch this video, Breyer has done this pattern before. And personally for me, I don't like it that much. I do think it actually looks nice on this model. I'm just not crazy about it on other models, but it definitely, this model pulls it off really well. But yeah, Breyer has done this look before. This isn't anything new that they haven't done before, and I will show pictures of what I mean on the screen. I really like the model. I'm gonna say this one will probably go for around 15,000 or maybe a little bit more, but I don't think it'll get as high as 20,000. But I could be wrong. I don't know the popularity again of these models. I have no idea. Next is the walking thoroughbred. I don't really like the pattern. The shading and chestnut color looks beautiful. I just don't like the, I don't know what you would call this type of pattern. It's definitely something different. I like the mold. I would probably bid on this one just for my conga. I have Justify and Cody's Wish. I do think this one is a little popular. I think it's going to go for around $15,000 to $20,000 is my guess on this one. The Connemara mold. This is up there with my top 3 favorites. And I do think that the gloss helps pull off this kind of coloring and the dapples. This is another thing, Breyer, I've never seen do on another model. It's so pretty. Like, how can you not like that, honestly? Everyone has a right to their own opinion, but I personally love this one. It's definitely one that I would bid on and try to get. I think it'll go for 15,000 to 20,000 also, maybe 25,000. It's just such a beautiful model. Next we have George, the draft horse model. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It just, to me, I don't know. This looks like it could be a Breyerfest special run. That's just my, I don't know what else to say about it. It looks like it could be a Breyerfest special run. I just don't think there's anything too special about it. Same thing with that palomino Arabian I talked about. That's just some of those. I don't think some of these are a wow factor. I think he'd go for about 5,000 to 10,000, maybe a little less, in my opinion. I don't think I would bid on this one. Next is the decorator. I'm obsessed with this one. It is definitely in my top 3 choices. I would die to have this one. The coloring, the details, the fact that it's a peacock, it's just so gorgeous, you guys. They definitely did a smart move with picking this Andalusian mold to be a peacock. It just makes sense. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't come up with this idea for their like animal series that they were doing. This would have been a great fit for that, I think. I think this might be one of the highest priced auction models for this year. I'm going to guess it'll go for over $30,000. Next is a new sculpt. They have another one coming out in their Premier Club later this year. It could already be out for all I know. I don't remember. And I do think this one is quite popular right now as a new sculpt. And I think this will be one of the other top sold horses this year. It'll also, I think, go for over 30,000, and I would personally bid on it. And if I didn't say it already, I would bid on this one also. But yeah, I love appaloosas. I'm a sucker for them. I love this new mold. I love the color, I keep wanting to say dapples, the appaloosa markings. everything about this is just everything that I want in a model. It's definitely going to be one of my top choices. I do want to eventually get the Premier Club model that's coming out of this one, and I would definitely try bidding on this one. We have this beautiful berry red is what I'm going to call it, wine red dressage horse. This one I think is going to be very popular also and up there in the 30,000 price range. I really like this one, and I do think it's one that the shading and color I don't think would be pulled off as well without the gloss. Darker models like this I feel like need the gloss to make them pop more. I love the design on it. I love the mold. It's definitely one of my top choices out of the group that they have this year. Price. How much do I think this one will go for? Probably in the 20,000s is my guess. Maybe 10,000s. Next we have the Winx mold. I used to have one of these and the balance wasn't that great on it. As nice as this one is, I don't think it's that popular. Every time I see a collection video, I never see anyone have these in their collection. I personally think with this one, with the darker colors and shading, I feel like it would look nicer if it was glossy. I'm gonna guess this one will go for around 5,000. Definitely under 10,000 because of the fact that I don't think it's that popular. I like appaloosas, but because I'm not a fan of the mold, I don't think I'd bid on this one. If this design was on a different horse or model, I should say, I would bid on it. Next, we have the Dundy mold, and it's a Brindle, which is something Breyer hasn't done that often. I really like this one, but I don't really collect this mold. I only have one, and that is the 7 Art Surprise. What was it called? The palomino, like appaloosa pinto one, the matte version. That's the only one I have on this mold. But yeah, I don't love it and I don't hate it. It does look really nice. But personally, I don't think I would bid on this one. I think this one will go for under $10,000. Next, we have the show jumping horse. My problem with this one, and just to say it with the mold in general, is I don't like the stand. It's very wobbly. I wish they did a different stand for this one. Overall, this model is absolutely beautiful. I feel like they've done quite a few palominos, and I feel like they've done something similar to this before. I think this one will go for under $10,000 also. They did a beautiful job on the shading and the dapples, but I just feel like they've done this before. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion on that one. I would personally bid on this one, though. I do really like it. Next, we have another newer model. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this model. I just bought the Premier Club model last week as like an eBay Breyerfest purchase. This is a beautiful model. I love the shading, the coloring, the striping on the legs, and this pattern. I don't even know what you would call it. However, those blue eyes. I do not like blue eyes on the models. I would still bid on this one, though. I think it'll go for 10 to 15,000 is my guess. Next, we have one of my other top choices. This is probably out of my top 3. This is number 1. I love this model. I really want to get one on this model. I'm very surprised they did just her solo and not with a foal because she was originally a Mare foal set. My only complaint is about this one. I wish they had more pinking in other areas so it's not so white. And I wish they did more darker gray or medium gray shading in the feathers of the legs, the tail, and the mane. I think that would make it pop more and look nicer than just a mostly white model horse with some of this gray coloring on it. This one seems pretty popular. I'm going to guess this one will go for around 30,000, maybe 35 at the highest is my guess. I would bid on this one also. And that is all